That place was an electronics goldmine. I found a ton of circuitry I could use, and there were so many cool gadgets that I had to use the van to carry them all.
No kidding.
Comic book and superhero games have been a really mixed bag over the years. Batman games have been especially good recently, and Spider-Man games have been decent, but other series like Superman just haven't been able to release a decent game. Now, I don't know if you would consider the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to be superheroes exactly, maybe you would, but their games have been surprisingly good over the years, especially on the 16-bit consoles. However, we have a key question to ask about the game today. If a series tends to have good games with its license, and then it gets a movie made that subsequently gets a game released, will it be any good itself? Let's find out. This is TMNT for the GameCube.
Get him!
Tmnt Story is interesting in that most of the game is played as one turtle tells his story to the others. There's tons of dialogue between them as you play through levels as one of the turtles, and this style actually works really well for the game. It helps to explain why the various turtles got into the situations they got into, but it also adds room for some funny moments. Playing an entire level as Michelangelo dressed as another turtle actually got a laugh out of me.
Totally awesome!
Now, TMNT's gameplay is really a mix between a beat-em-up and a platformer. Most of your time in each level is just spent moving across it, and as far as a platformer goes, it's not that great. Camera angles can sometimes lead to some cheap deaths, and a very slight button delay can screw up jumps. The controls also can cause some problems with jumping off of a wall in the middle of a wall run. However, the combat is actually a lot better. It can come down to button mashing at times, but the different abilities that each of the turtles get, along with dodging and kicking moves, make this part of the game a huge step up from the platforming. Now, with that being said, the game does have a flaw that is very common in moving games, the dreaded invisible wall. Large sections of the game are spent in areas that appear to be open and able to be tackled in a few different ways, but it's a trick. There's almost always one way to get from point A to point B, and if you guess wrong, you're going to either start running in place or go through a fake building. That's not to say that the problem is going to drive you nuts, because it isn't, but it still is worth noting, especially considering our key question.
Oh, bummer.
TMNT is actually a pretty good-looking game. Characters all have a look that gives them some personality, even the bad guys, and environments vary enough from level to level to keep you interested. The game also has a nice, hand-drawn 2D style for in-between levels. However, the voice acting is not only performed badly, but the writing is some of the most cringeworthy in any game I've played. The game also repeats lines over and over again, and I don't have to explain how this can get annoying. TMNT is not a great game, but especially for a movie game, it's good. However, with a franchise known for some fantastic games, I did expect a little bit more.